Well, you may be wondering why I'm walking around in the forest here. Well, that's going to become very clear shortly. So I'm going to show you how to soften your fish tank water and lower the pH and create a blackwater biotype free. Now, if done correctly, you'll have a free source to achieve this for the rest of your life. So you may be asking, why the hell would you want to soften your fish tank water, especially when most of the fish in the world are supplied by wholesalers and breeders and collectors that are breeding their fish in completely neutral tap water, or in fact in some cases in hard water. Well, it's quite simple. There are many fish species that, to breed them correctly and show them in their optimum health, you need to lower the pH. Now, your standard tap water may be neutral or it may be even hard, but this is not very good conditions to get the best out of your fish. So while many of your fish will thrive quite happily in a hard water tank, these are not the optimum conditions to be able to breed your fish and show the best color. Now, there are many species that absolutely require soft water and a low pH to be able to breed successfully. A few that spring to mind is betta and killifish. Without soft water, many of these species will just not lay their eggs at all. Not only that, the development of the eggs won't be successful because they require this low pH. Now, there are many chemical solutions that you can buy off the shelf that will lower your pH for you, but I've tried to steer away from them. I've preferred the more natural method. In the past, I've used katapa leaves. Now, these leaves are readily available on places like eBay, Aquabid, and on many online shops. But I'm currently running into 100+ tanks now, and I'm finding this to be an expensive solution. So I was visiting a friend not so long ago, and I noticed some strange leaves in his tank. Now, I knew straight away these weren't katapa leaves. So I asked him what these leaves were, and he told me it was oak leaves. He's been collecting oak leaves for years, and he's used them very successfully to breed his betta fish. Now, oak leaves are very good at lowering the pH and releasing tannins into the tank, which gives it that rich tea color. Now, obviously autumn is the best time to be collecting oak leaves because you want your leaf to be dead, so they have to be brown. So in autumn, obviously, the leaves are dying and they're falling off the trees. This makes collecting them quite easily. Now, there are many benefits to using oak leaves compared to some of the other leaves I've used in the past. So now, some of the benefits of using oak leaves is that it drops the pH quite a bit, down to about 4.6 in some cases. Not only that, it releases the tannins, which turns your water into this rich soup. So it's these tannins that actually end up reducing the pH in the tank. So now, it is true that if you are using very hard water, that the buffering of the oak leaf is less than what it would be if you are using RO water. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but if you can use RO water to start with, even better. But don't let that put you off. Even although the buffering is less, oak leaves play an important part in breeding your fish and blackwater biotypes. So as I've said before, I normally use katapa leaves, and not only are these leaves beneficial in that they've got an antibacterial and fungicide property, that when the leaf breaks down, it actually creates a small biofilm on the leaf surface, and in return you get this chain reaction causing rotifers, infusoria, paramecium, and it's this that the baby fish need when they are feeding. So these leaves, in fact all leaves, are very useful when they break down in the tank, form a free food source for your fish. It's getting dark now, so I'm going to have to be quick about this. Yes, it's very important that you only collect dead leaves. Don't use the green leaves. Now, there are instances where you can, but if you use the wrong leaf, you're playing Russian roulette with your fish. The other thing is, do not collect your leaves in winter or in the spring, because by that time the leaf has lost most of its goodness, and not only that, by that time the leaves have become damaged by all sorts of fungal attacks onto it. So you don't want to be collecting leaves that show any damage at all. So apart from the oak tree, there are many other trees' leaves that you can use. The sycamore, hazel tree, beech tree, silver birch, there's many different species, and they all will reduce your pH by different amounts. But by far the best leaf to use is the oak leaf. Now, just while I'm on the subject of leaves, there's loads of sycamore leaves lying around here. I'm going to try and show you one quickly. So these sycamore leaves are excellent at reducing your pH and creating this rich tannin in your tank. Not only that, you'll get a very large infusoria bloom in your tank. The leaves are quite large, and as I've said before, choose leaves that aren't damaged. Now, the only disadvantage of using sycamore leaves is that the effect is not very long lasting. It's got a very short lifespan in the fish tank itself with lowering the pH, and so you'd have to continually top up the tank with sycamore leaves. Now, I would have thought finding an oak tree in this forest would have been easy, but as it turns out, in this particular section there's not a lot. Actually, I believe that's an acorn tree up there. It's not very clear from down here, but the leaves look exactly like acorn leaves. So I'm going to look down on the ground to see if I can find any of these leaves. Yes, and straight off I can spot them. Now, my friends, this is an acorn leaf, and this is what you're looking for. There's hundreds of these leaves down here below the tree, and as I've said, you're looking for leaves that are undamaged. Now, you can collect hundreds of these and store them in a nice dry dark spot, and you will have leaves all year round. Now, just when I was walking home here, I came across these pine cones. These are excellent for a Blackwater biotype, and I will make a vlog about this a bit later on.